G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game of Age of Empires 4. Today we've got two of the world's best players, as we always do. I'm looking forward to it. The map today is Himiyama. It's a great fun map, action-packed map, and I suspect we are going to see an absolutely action-packed game today. The big question for me is going to be about how many relics does Louis MT actually manage to secure? Because every single game we've been watching with these damn Holy Roman Empire, Order of the Dragon players, they don't care, dude. They don't care. They're just like, I don't care about relics. Anyway, let's introduce our players for you today. Spawning in the west of the map in the color purple, playing as the Japanese, representing Team Liquid, it's Demu. And on the east of the map, in the color blue, playing as the Order of the Dragon, representing Team Elephant, it's Louis MT. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Himiyama. It is a pleasure to have your company today. If you're enjoying this Age of Empires 4 content, should I wait the extra 2 seconds so I can sync it up? If you're enjoying the Age of Empires 4 content, then please go ahead, leave a like on the video right now. I'm not going to tell you to subscribe, because I already know you're subscribed. But anyway, let's talk a little bit about this opening, because this was kind of my suspicion as to what we might actually start seeing happening. So, let's talk a little bit about the issue. This is the issue. I'm an Order of the Dragon player. I want to go Castle Age, and I want to take relics. The problem is, I also need food. And my enemy, the Japanese player, he might potentially take my food in being that my deer are out here on the map, right? So he might get professional scouts, he might take my food, he might deny that food from me. And I'll get to Castle Age, but I won't have any food to go Imperial Age, to produce units, to do all that stuff. So I need to go professional scouts. The problem is, if I go professional scouts, I delay my age up. And if I delay my age up, there is the risk that I am going to be delayed in not only just aging up, but, well, yeah, just aging up. I mean, that's pretty much it. But the problem is, you delay the age up, and then because of that, you can't get your prelates out, and you kind of have to spend a little bit too long in the feudal age defending, right? Like, you need your horsemen out, you might need a couple of spears. You get down and dirty, and the problem is you don't really know how much to commit, because obviously you don't want to overcommit. That's a big problem. But at the same time, you don't want to undercommit and then lose your gold. So it can be a bit of a difficult conundrum. So Louis MT's actually got to go for a solution. This was something that I sort of proposed a couple of casts ago. Now, I'm not going to suspect for a second that he actually listens to my cast and goes, hey, that's a good idea, Drongo. But it is interesting to see how players are starting to shift, because typically this was going to be something that you wouldn't normally do. It's quite far away from the main town center, and professional scouts is always going to be there. But essentially what he's going to be able to do here is take all of the food from the hunt. Now, he's not going to be able to get every single bit of it before Demu comes over and snipes it. And that is on the condition that Demu actually wants to snipe it. He is playing the Japanese. We haven't seen them for a hot minute. And in fact, I take it back. We haven't seen them for a long time. It has been... When was the last Japanese cast on this channel? Go back. I'm going to guess right now, okay? I don't know exactly when, but I'm going to go back and say December 3. That was our last cast for the Japanese. I don't actually know when it was. It was probably an FFA game, to be honest. It was a while ago, that's for sure. Anyway, this hunt, you know, the whole idea is that we're going to be able to jump onto these sheep a little bit later. So I think this is such a smart move from Louis MT. Very, very nice. Let's check in, though, with Demu and see how he's doing. Interestingly, from Demu, we don't see any movement in the middle of the map. Now, keep in mind, playing as the Japanese, his docks are the same cost as yours and mine. He pays 150 wood, but his fishing boats are very, very cheap. And this is a decent amount of fish that are out here, but I suspect that's largely because he wants to go for a second town center. And even though it is quite, you know, it doesn't really delay you that much, it does delay that second town center quite a bit. And it could mean, you know, maybe 1 or 2 vills behind where you'd normally be, because you might be up 20 to 40 seconds later with that second TC. So it's something to keep in mind. But the age up is coming now through for Demu. It's going to be the Kura storehouse here. Nice little spot that he's got right up against the wood line, up against the town center, perfectly positioned. I'm always happy with the Kura storehouse. If I can just give away 2 farms to the town center, that is absolutely fine. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, mine work will be coming up here for Louis. Now, I would say don't be too worried about the mine work. I'm kind of not surprised that we're starting to see this as well. With the most recent video that we did with the Archon and just how you really have to be quite careful with it, I think it can be a bit of a trap. It can be a bit of a bait. And especially when you put it towards the front of your base. So in this situation, you know, if we assume that I mean, where would you even put the Archon? It'd be down here, right? So that's actually a pretty decent Archon to the south side, but it can always be a bit problematic. Have a look at this, though. Louis MT now going to be dropping down the stable. I don't think we'll be seeing any professional scouts anytime soon, but we'll keep an eye on it. It would be absolutely absurd for me to think that he would go professional scouts off this. But we'll wait and see what the play is. I would suspect it's probably just going to be a Gilded Horseman for a little bit of harass early on. We'll check in on the other side of the map, though, and see exactly how Demu is doing. 5 bills on food. About to click that second town center and drop it down. Where's he going to drop it down? I suspect probably on the gold right here is a decent spot. You could go for something a little bit more defensive. You could look to try and cover berries, but gold is always going to be your go-to. And that is that's a no-brainer right there for Demu. Checking back in with Louis MT. Do we see any professional scouts? Not yet. He hasn't clicked them just yet. So makes me think it's less likely that we're going to be seeing it. And you can see he's got about 700... about 1,000 resources still left in this, and this is exactly where that professional scouts would be coming through for Demu on the other side. But of course, we know the truth. It's not. He's going into a second TC and playing into the Kura storehouse. It's a civilization, the Japanese, that doesn't really need to move into Deer as much as other civilizations do because of the power of the Kura storehouse. The fact that you've got these farms just naturally generating around the Kura storehouse, it feels good. It feels really good. Now, I will say it feels a bit weird moving my camera around, so I'm moving it around with the middle mouse button. I've been playing a new game a bit recently. I say new, well, it's new to me. It'll be new to you guys soon. Civ 7, you may have heard of it. I've been given early access to make some content for you guys, so that'll be coming out shortly. I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys think of it, so you'll have to let me know when the video does eventually drop. But yeah, it's shaping up to be a pretty cool game. I think if you're an RTS fan, it can definitely transition quite easily over. I think one of the good things about Civilization, not to go too crazy here, but you can just walk away, right? Like, if I'm playing a game of Age of Empires, and my boys start mucking around upstairs, and, you know, the wife says, hey, Papa Drongo, you're gonna have to settle these two down, well then, you know, Age of Empires not going to work so well. Sorry, honey, can't pause the game. Whereas for Civ 7, I mean, you can just walk away at any point. You know, two little guys strangling each other upstairs. Just walk away. It's all good. It's all good. Come back. It's a single player game. I mean, there is multiplayer, but single player is going to be the focus. Anyway, have a look at this. Oh, Louis MT switching things up absolutely beautifully. Still going for a very quick castle age timing here. Obviously, we lost the scout here as well, so very well timed by Louis MT to make sure that scout doesn't see. So Demu's got no clue about what is coming here. Probably suspects a Regnitz Cathedral. Knows the enemy's going to be up before him. He's open with the second TC, so naturally the 1 TC is always going to be faster. No real surprises there, but how does Demu look to combat this? And I think more curiously from Louis MT, how does he look to play this? Because it's been a while since we've seen a Burgrave as well. It's very, very often that the Regnitz is coming down, and to me, I don't know why we're actually seeing the Burgrave. I don't think we need to see it. I genuinely don't think we needed a Burgrave here. This could have been 100% a Regnitz into a Swabia, and like realistically, what does he do to deny the relics? And look, don't get me wrong. We're probably going to see a monastery thrown down immediately. Is it just that Louis says, you know what? I know that I don't need all of these relics on the map, and I reckon I can take you out another way. I want to see what he's got up his sleeve right now. And it is a monastery thrown down straight away. 4 vils on that one. Plenty of vils on gold as well. So he'll be looking to prelate max as soon as he possibly can. Age up about to come through from Demu, so probably going to be rushing this bad boy up. Normally in this situation, you can expect to see about 12 vils. Probably want to put it right down next to the town center just because you've got these Gilded Horsemen out, and you never know if there's a Gilded Knight on the way in this situation, so you want to try and drop that bad boy down. Otherwise, there is the risk. I guess you could also technically throw it down out over here. It gets you a little bit closer to the relics, because there's no way he's going for the Temple of... No, it's not the Temple of the... It's the Temple of Equality. We did get it. He is going to go Floating Gate. Okay, interesting position here as well. Now, if this gets spotted out, Louis MT is in the vicinity. He could cause a bit of pain here. So we'll check in with him because, I mean, he is technically rounding the corner here. You can see him coming around. He's got a bit of a, wide sweep, and now moving up towards that top side. Upgrades on the way through for Demu. It's going to be Tatara. Get that little bit of extra melee health. Men-at-Arms now coming through. Keep in mind, these Men-at-Arms are a little bit different from the Holy Roman Empire Men-at-Arms. There we go. We got it out in the end. Or at least the Burgrave Palace is. So, Holy Roman Empire Burgrave is Burgrave, whereas this one's a little bit more of a slow trickle. You're paying less for your units. They do produce a little bit faster. It's more of a slow burn, right? It's something that is going to contribute over time, where you've got more units, you know, after 5 minutes or 10 minutes, you're going to have that slight advantage. Whereas with the Burgrave, it's very much, you know, just shitting out a whole bunch of units. But we do see the Men-at-Arms coming through. A little bit of idle time. Definitely, you've got 8 vils out here, 13 vils in the town center. He is completely idle. 4 in here as well. He is completely idle. Barracks now going to come through. Brings out the Samurai looking to try and combat this Men-at-Arms. Tell you what, it's been so long since I've seen the Japanese. I thought that was an Onabagation when it was coming out. But Ayyub does come through. No hassle here for Demu on the backside. We do see the Shinto priest has put... Where did he put the Yorishiro? Yorishiro went into the barracks. No surprises there. And, yeah, I mean, at this point in the game... advantage definitely going to Louis MT here, right? He's in the enemy's base. He's caused a lot of idle time. He's picking up relics behind this. And speaking of relics, he actually snipes away Demu's closest relic first. That's the one that he goes for. He knows he's got the tempo advantage. He knows the enemy's gone for a second town center, so he says, you know what I can do? I can just drop this bad boy immediately. And we now see that Shinto priest moving out across the map. He's going to be careful not to lose it. Otherwise, the next one that comes through, it's going to be quite a way away on that time frame. He does fortunately have the he's got the Nikes on today. He's moving it. The only trouble is, by the time that you get to the end of the road, my friend, the men-at-arms are well and truly going to be on top of you, and that's exactly what we see here. Prelates continue to move out. Louis MT doesn't even care. Actually, he's just capping sacred sites. He's not even going for the relics. That's how you know the man don't care. Okay, because when it comes to relics, it's really, really important you try and pick up all the relics as soon as you can, and then you go for sacred sites. But Louis MT's like, nah, dude, I got it. Don't worry. It's definitely a bit more risky. We'll see how it plays out in the long run for him. All right, farms coming up now for Louis. Back in the base. Keep in mind, obviously, there's plenty around the Kura storehouse already. A lot moving forward. Gilded men at arms. Quite a few here. Keep in mind, these bad boys are the well, they're double trouble. That's probably the best way to think of it. Every men at arms here. You know, how many times have you played against the Order of the Dragon? Seen like 10 men at arms and be like, what's this guy doing? And then all of a sudden they destroy you because you forget that they're not real men at arms. They're actually crazy powerful men at arms. Man, seeing the black on the shield, it just reminded me of the reveal. I don't know if you guys remember the reveal for the Order of the Dragon. It was like before then where they kind of teased it and they were like, here, look at this. I don't know if it was screenshots or something. And I was so hyped because I thought they were adding skins to the game. I was like, oh my god, that skin looks sick. Oh gosh, we were in for a real treat, weren't we? Order of the Dragon, good fun. All right, well, house is going to start being worked down here. Demu's going to have to move into some Onimusha, and that's exactly what we see him moving into now. Definitely makes a bit more sense. At the same time, on the side of Louis MT, he's going to start going into the Gilded Crossbowman. So both players naturally moving towards this crossbow meta that we do so commonly see in Age of Empires 4 at the moment. Nice little walls starting to come up across the bottom of the base. 3 relics in the bag at the moment. 1 on the way in. And the 5th and final relic, Louis hasn't actually spotted it out. The scout is moving around the enemy base. I guess he's looking for it, trying to spot it. Now, has Demu spotted this one out? Let's have a look and see. Demu has not spotted this one out either. So both players have no idea about that relic. Louis MT with good relic control here. 4 out of 5 ain't bad at this stage, and it'll probably be 5 out of 5 with the way he's going. He's also got good military control. Nice little distraction right here from Demu. Going to buy himself a bit of time behind the scenes, but how does he look to play this one out? I think realistically, from Demu's perspective, you just go 100% Onimusha, right? Think about it, right? What's the biggest threat? If you go full Onimusha, maybe the enemy going into, I guess, Archer or Horseman could be a big problem. So how do you play it? If your enemy goes full Archer against you, I guess you could, I mean, you probably don't want to make Samurai. You could go Horseman yourself. It could work. Actually, Horsemen aren't terrible here either because they do have that extra bonus damage from the Japanese. Sacred Site neutralized on the south side. Demi going to be losing a Shinto priest here, unfortunately. Throwing away the second one. Third one about to come out. He's actually popped the Yorishiro inside the archery range. Third Yorishiro going to get thrown in the forge here. You can see it does generate. It says generating 20 gold. I think it generates up to 60 gold in a minute. Probably a little bit more than what it says on the tin. All right, well, let's have a look and see how Demu's doing as he begins to push across the map here and can start to be really annoying. So I guess from the perspective of Louis, the biggest thing that he's got to deal with this is going to be those archers. They've got that 1.25 movement speed, so they are outsped. But definitely when it comes to the guns, they're going to be outgunning the Onimusha today. All sacred sites now secured up for Louis MT once again. Grabs it back, says, hey, that's mine. Don't even think about it. Now the range difference between these two. Onimusha, 5.5 tiles of range, 5.5 on the archers as well. So he's going to be able to take advantage of that that very difficult gap to close here. And Demu doing a good job now. Moving behind the enemy base, going to continue to look to distract him. And now I think the big question for Louis, now that you've picked up the relics, and speaking of relics, he's got the 5th one in the bag. He's going to walk it all the way back here for us. Does he look to go Imperial here? Now keep in mind, Order of the Dragon Imperial is one of the best imps in the game. And it's not so much about the units, it's not so much about the tech, it's all about the landmark, right? The Palace of Swabia is just in a whole nother league of itself. It is just incredible when it comes to its power. So I would be surprised if we don't see him go for a quick age up. So maybe even at this point right now is a time where you could probably pull the foot off the gas and say, you know what, we don't need any more units out. That's enough. Let's move into that Imperial Age. Because, I mean, once you get Imperial Age, you guys know the drill. Outposts, cannon emplacements, and a whole lot of fun. All right, we'll check in with Demo and see how he is doing over here on this west side. I'll give you a little bit of a drink update for you as well. I'm sure you guys are wondering, you know what are you drinking today, Drongo? What's on the menu? We got a good old classic. We got classic. Let's see if you can hear it. Oh, you can't hear it because all the ice is melted. Oh, that's not good. Hold on. Give me a sec here. You get a water score in a sec. That's good. It's S+. S+ tier. It's rare to see an S+ drink, but water with ice in it is very, very good. The ice is still technically in there, but it's like, you know when the ice gets really, really small? That's what we're dealing with at the moment. But look, overall, it's good quality water. We'll say that much. All right, let's check in and see with Demo where that last Yoroshiro went, and it did go into a forge. So one of the common things that you'll see Japanese players do as we get a little bit further on in the game and production numbers start looking quite decent for him. So let's say he's got, you know, 5 or 6 Raxes out the front and 4 archery ranges. He'll then delete these 2 and then be able to transition those Yoroshiros into their respective buildings at the back so that they'll be producing gold for him. Because at the moment, he's producing a lot of units, and keep in mind, he's got a lot of production coming out of these 2 buildings. But it'll be something that's quite easy to bridge the gap on. All right, Onimusha do get taken out. He's only got 2 of them remaining behind enemy lines. Big walls coming in for Louis as well. I think these are absolutely fine because they're not stone walls. If these were stone walls, I would have a big problem with them. But because they're palisade walls, it's one of those things where they're not, you're not really committing to defending a palisade wall. You know, you can put up a palisade wall and ain't nobody gonna hurt you. Or at least ain't nobody gonna get mad if you don't defend it. All right, well, Springwood emplacement here on the front line. We can see he's looking to try and get that fortification through as well. Also Springwood emplacement on that second one. Onibagesha together with the Onimusha on the back. They're going to pump that movement speed, and now all of a sudden we've got ourselves a nice little front here. The men-at-arms have got plenty of health on them, and keep in mind he's got the prelates to heal all... Oh, gosh. Well, I don't even know what that was. I became a little bit Kazakh in the moment just there. But have a look at that. Louis MT with an absolute demolition early on in this game. I say early on, we're 17 minutes through. Now, there's a really nice synergy that you're witnessing here, and that is the combination of the low health men-at-arms that have got the Golden Cuirass upgrade together with the prelates, because the prelates are able to heal them. So they're able to take reduced damage once they get really low, and then the prelates have got all of that extra healing to try and keep them alive. So it can be really difficult to deal with a combo like this, and we can see Louis MT demonstrating just how powerful the Order of the Dragon here is. He's utilized this Burgrave incredibly well, and this is exactly what we were talking about. When it comes to, it's not so much of an explosion as it is an exponent. Is that probably the best way to say? Yeah, I mean, an explosion's just kind of like boom, whereas the Order of the Dragon, it is obviously it's linear, but it's a very fast linear movement. Second town center under threat here. Demo up 30 vils at the moment. Keep in mind he's taken out quite a bit as well. Meanwhile, Louis MT going to continue pushing up on this front. Not a lot of siege here, but to be honest, I don't really think he needs it. This is fine. The men-at-arms together with the prelates are absolutely fine for tanking up any kind of threat that you've got. But how does Demu look to hold this? He's got a lot of gold in the bank. Behind this, we'll switch it over to income per minute. And there it is. The town center is going to be upgraded to the Shogunate Castle, revealing his one defensive route out of this game. And you can see him actually sniping out these men-at-arms, and I don't think there's any real way that you can actually siege, well, not siege through them, but I don't think there's any way that you can heal through the damage that it does. Now, keep in mind, it's single target. It looks very formidable when these rockets land on the enemy units, but unfortunately, it's not. And I find it quite curious that he's actually going after the men-at-arms. I would have thought to go after the archers, go after the gilded crossbowmen with their 6 tiles of range. That way, once they're dead, then all of your units can just kind of swoop in and dish out their damage, right? At least that's the way I would have thought about it. But he is going after the men-at-arms, which makes it a bit curious. But we do start to see horsemen coming out for him, so maybe he's looking to transition into that. I wouldn't be surprised if we actually saw him delete these 2 buildings and then throw the Yoroshiro into the back here. But you'd probably want to do it one at a time. But even then, it's probably not the right time for it right now, just because once you delete it, it doesn't buffer anymore. So moving towards the front side, the Shogunate Palace holding on for dear life here for Demu. 20 minutes into this game. Things are looking a little bit scary. He's still got that Vil lead, but keep in mind, working on the side of Louis MT are those 5 relics. They're working overtime, as well as those sacred sites. He's got 2 of them, both under his control. And now we start to see even more palisades coming up. He's got a little bit of deer inclusion. It's always nice to see a little bit of inclusion coming through in the walls. But for the moment, Demu is somehow managing to keep himself alive. It's kind of wild when you look at the numbers and you're like, okay, how is Louis MT actually up this much population? Like, it doesn't really make sense. It's kind of ludicrous. All right, let's check in with Louis and see how he's doing. No Imperial age just yet. I'm not going to allude to a potential Imperial age because, look, I'll be honest with you. Now has never seemed a better time. But Louis wants to put the pressure on in the 3rd age. He says, you know what, Drongo, we're going to keep it castle. We're going to keep it cool in castle. And I think that that's an absolutely chill thing to do. That's a chill guy thing. I'm a chill guy. Louis MT, chill guy. I'm just a chill guy. I'm trying to think of the meme. That was a quick meme, wasn't it? Like, that's a been and gone meme. That meme was like peak traction 3 to 4 weeks ago, went absolutely bonkers, and now I haven't seen one guy talk about how chill he was for at least 3 weeks now. It's been a long time. So look, I'm saying it right now. This is the revival of the chill guy meme. We're bringing it back. We're bringing it back for 2025, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes you do get meme revivals, and you know it's kind of crazy the way that I think that's the sort of the TikTok trend is you get like these songs that were never big hits, and then all of a sudden they go viral on TikTok and they just become like best sellers overnight. It's kind of crazy, man, the power of TikTok. But speaking of TikTok, hey, not to get a bit political, but TikTok's getting banned. Is that even political? I mean, it's bipartisan, right? I don't know how you guys feel about it, but hey, give me your data. Why are you giving it to them? Anyway, I'm just kidding. I mean, it's 2025. Everyone's got your data. Everyone's got my data too. Oh, it's a sad state of affairs, but it's just how did we lose it? Anyway, Louis MT on the chase here. You can see he's starting to build up those arch numbers quite well. He's just starting to look very manganellable. But he continues cutting backwards, Demu does, and we finally have that Swabia coming down. Beautiful wood line at the backside here, and Louis MT looks to secure his late game advantage by dropping down that Swabia. Now, for Demu, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a lot more horsemen coming through, but these walls have been well and truly put up on the front. Look at this absolute state of walls across the map, and it's kind of funny. You got like the one guy who just doesn't wall against the guy who says wall is my middle name. Like this guy, Louis, and then quotations, Waller, MT. MT's his last name. All right, well, towards that top side, Demu's going to try and break himself out. He's been completely walled in with the exception of this little thing down to the bottom. Cleans up all the troops, and Louis MT up 106 military pop to the 38 of his opponent. 25 Vil advantage for Demu. Let's compare the pair and see how these guys do before the tithe barns roll through. 1,700, 2,100, together with the 27, 2,800 on Louis MT. Meanwhile, for the side of Demu, 1,200, 2,200, 3,000. Oh my lord, it's a lot. It's too much. I can't count. I just looked here and I'm like, that is a lot of resources. Those are some big numbers. I don't think anybody's ever seen numbers that big before. Meanwhile, talking about big, have a look at the size of that army. That is starting to look scary. Keep in mind, these are Order of the Dragon units. So double this, and that's what you'd be looking at for another army. So this is like, what? 100 units, essentially. Even though it's 50 units, it's like 100 pop of units. All right, well, archers are going to get chased down. Veteran horsemen do find decent connections. He's got plenty of attack on that. Keep in mind, he does have the banner man there going to be buffing up plenty of damage. He's also got that extra attack upgrade coming through. Unfortunately, we don't see any of the Japanese upgrades on the UI. So if you take a look here, you can see that he does actually have both of his mining upgrades. If we take a look in this building right here, you can see that he does have tier 1 wood gathering upgrade. If we take a look here, you'll see that he doesn't have any farming upgrades, but he does have his wheelbarrow upgrades, despite them not showing. Now, I would, again, reiterate to you guys that the Japanese have been out for more than a year, and still on the caster UI for tournaments that are, you know, anyway, you guys get the picture, right? It's been a year. Still, you don't know. You don't see. Melee upgrade as well. Not there. I mean, we're 3 out of 4 at the moment. So just make sure you don't look at that UI. And speaking of UI, let's go check. Maybe Louis stopped working as well. Nah, Louis didn't stop working. Louis stopped working. He said, I don't need any more upgrades, Drongo. I'm happy with +1 food gathering and +1 wood gathering. That'll do me, son. I can take the Imperial Age. You know, what are you really getting back from 79 vils anyway on a couple of 15%ers that you, that you pay that little for? Who knows? All right, well, he moves out before the elite upgrades come through. Only veterancy for these units at the moment. Nice little surround that Demu's got. He's going to put him down. Sit down, he says. Louis MT losing his unit so damn quickly. And jeez Louise, this was very, very fast. I'm not going to lie. That was a lot faster than I thought it would be. He took those ranged units out too fast. Louis MT could be in a bit of trouble here. Demu could double down and just go 100% all in right now. This could be a play. 25 minutes into the game, he could look to try and finish right now. I don't know how you fight off elite units, though. I think you might have to try and match them. And it's one of those things that now you're going to get sort of like dragged into the Imperial Age battle. And do you ever really want to be against an Imperial Aged Order of the Dragon player with 5 relics? You know what the answer to that is. Just the reason why it's so powerful, it's not just the relics, it's the fact that the, or I shouldn't say it's not just the economy side of the relics, it's the military side of the relics. The fact that you can put down a keep and throw a relic inside it and all of a sudden it becomes a monstrosity. That's what makes it so damn difficult, because you're going to have keeps everywhere. And look, this is going to happen sooner or later. You're going to start seeing, there you go, Louis MT keeping up the top with the Kardashians. No relic up here yet, but don't be surprised if he does walk one out. Meanwhile, towards the middle of the map, Demu might be sensing a little bit of blood in the water. Louis, where's your production at? Let's take a look and see. What's he actually got back here? A couple. Mate, hold on. Okay, there we go. All right. He got the memo. He started to put down a whole bunch of stables. Louis MT looking to transition into horsemen. We see the veterancy coming through at the moment. He's rallying out more and more units here. A hand cannon going to be joining the fray as well. Plenty of Onimusha looking to just take these units out across the wall and back towards the base of Demu. We ride on board with him once again. Does he look to double down in the Castle Age, or does he try and match it in the Imperial Age? Villager advantage has now gone in favor to Louis MT. You would expect that he's going to be pretty big now on these numbers. We'll have to check in once these vills have got a place to call home. At the moment, they're moving forward to gold. Might have to think about adding in a forge a little bit closer to this position. Decent-sized army here for Demu, though. 57 units. More going to be rallied in. Outpost at the front. There it is, the forge at the back. And now, towards this front side, elite gilded archers. Only got 13 damage on them, but keep in mind they got that fast attack speed. And now, towards this south side, neutralizing the sacred site, together with taking out this outpost ever so slowly. And let's check in on Demu and see how he's doing. He's still got Yoroshiros in both of these production buildings. Keep in mind at this stage of the game, I mean, he's actually in 6 stables, 1 racks, 1 archery range. Mad respect. Not a whole lot of wood in the bank either, so realistically, I guess that's probably where it can sit. All right, do we see another Shinto priest sent out here? He's got 1 at the moment, so you would expect it's probably on the way. Keep in mind, there it is. Keep in mind, no walls up for Demu at the moment, leaving him open to a little bit of a raid, but keep in mind, we do have the Shogunate Castle ready to pounce on these raiding units, and he's done a decent job so far. Takes out the first one. Second one gets annihilated as well, I tell you what. You know, annihilated is one of those words that I just love. Because as a youngster, I played Total Annihilation. And so I remember learning how to spell annihilation, A-N-N-I-H-I-L-A-T-I-O-N, when I was 8 years old. That was my go-to word. You know, when you're in the, I don't know about you guys, I was a massive nerd. I was like in the playground, I'm like, yeah, well, I can spell annihilation. Anyway, I'm sitting here cringing at myself. Oh, it's always fun when you can look back and cringe at yourself. It's not really. It kind of hurts a bit. But anyway. Outpost up on the front side here. Poor man's keep going to be happening here for Demu. He's got the emplacement in it as well. We'll be looking for a potential Castle Age here, or rather Imperial Age here. You can see he's got no other units in queue, just a couple spears, 2,000 food a minute. So expect him to hit that threshold in the next 30 seconds or so. Let's do a quick stock take on these economies, though. At the moment for Demu, 1,900, 22, 2,300. 3,800, about 4,000 coming through for him. Meanwhile, on the side of Louis MT, he's absolutely eclipsed him, sitting at about 6k now. It is gone very, very, very quickly up to the roof with the Swabia. The Swabia has done the Lord's work over there for the Holy Roman Empire. The more horsemen now going to run through for Louis. He's got that elite upgrade as well. Plenty more units for Louis on this map now. Managed to recover well back towards this base. Did a great job in analyzing that. Hey, hold on a minute. I might be in trouble here. Keep towards the top side. Boiling oil going to be coming through. Do we see any relics on the move? It doesn't quite look like it just yet. He's got 3 back at home. I think a couple more in an outpost here or there. There we go. Other than that, it's going to be the Taganashima Gunsmith. Puts it down in the front. Always really dangerous to put it down on the front like this, because in the event you do actually get sieged, it's going to be the first thing to go, and it is an incredibly powerful landmark. We talked before about the strength of the Swabia, for that economic ability that it's got, or that economic prowess that it gives. And the Taganashima Gunsmith, a little bit different. It's going to give you those tickets so that you can purchase Siege. And the Siege that you purchase, I mean, it's optional, right? You can always opt for Randy if you want. One thing to note is you can't purchase Mangonels from here. Now, that would be good. In the current meta, imagine if you could purchase Mangonels from the Taganashima... Oh, no. Imagine if you could purchase Mangonels from the Taganashima Gunsmith in the current meta. But I guess that's the whole thing. It's a gunsmith, baby. It's a gunsmith. It's not a Mangonel smith. All right, well, decent-sized army here for Louis MT. Says fuck you in particular to the deer at the backside. Couple of attacks down towards the middle as well. More units down as well. Now looking to try and chase away these archers. They're going to head back towards the gates that have been placed outside the base of Demu's face. Unfortunately, this place is not one welcome for Order of the Dragon players, and Louis MT finds out the hard way that Demu means business, though. Hold on. He's done a great job in diverting those units. We hear the Ozutsu in the back line. They've got 6.5 tiles of range. He's going to have to fall back. These units are too strong. Look at this. He's absolutely menacing the army of Demu right now. These gilded archers are not messing around. Wow, I can't believe that wall actually came in clutch right there. That was quite nice. It diverted off all the troops down towards this angle, and I think in the end, Louis MT's probably going to get cleaned up, but it was still quite a nice little fight here from him, and definitely a very effective trade. We can hear those Ozutsu still teeing off. I think with the keep up on this position and the fact that we've kind of lost out on gold in the middle, we want to try and move towards getting a bombard as soon as we possibly can. So spending those tickets on Ozutsu, I'd say probably a little bit, well, maybe we could save them, the ones that we've got now, and look to try and get those bombards out, because that will help us deal with the keep. We grab control of the gold at the north. We can then use the keeps to, or rather use the bombards to roll onto our next target. We'll see exactly what the play is here for Demu, though. Vil count, somehow, some way, Louis MT's up 50 Vils. And you know what it is? It's that second town center that got taken out. We never rebuilt that second TC. And it's just meant that Demu's found it really difficult to get back on the horse here. He's lost out quite a bit of Vils. You can see still losing more and more. Where is it? It's down here on the south side. There we go. More of them. 58 now taken out by Louis MT. He's got a lot of Vil kills this game. 58 so far. But it's not just those Vil kills. It's also the fact that we're missing that second town center. Had we had that second town center all this time, and I think we were talking a little bit about that, and the position that it was quite far forward. There was always the risk that it would go down, and indeed, it did in the end. We're right on board now with Louis MT and see how his position is. I think at this stage of the game, he controls the resources that are most important. It controls the gold in the north of the map. There's nothing else really on the map with the exception of the 2k gold that's down here. And once that's over, I mean, how does Demu fight this game? He's got to start thinking about alternatives. Keep in mind that the relics are in control of Louis MT. He's also got that sacred site in the north. Demu with the one to the south, and now for the moment, fighting out over these central locations. Demu looking to put the foot down a little bit here and says, we're going to push up. We're going to try and contest. Decent numbers of Ozutsu's really starting to build. He's up to 7 now, and you can see that they get that lock on at the back, and they just unleash on the front line. Do an absolute number on these units, and you know what? Who needs bombards when you got the Ozutsu? He's got 8 of them on the field at the moment. No more in queue. They're quite an expensive unit. If we take a look here, you'll see 155 gold. It's definitely not the resource you just want to be given out right now. Let's check in on this backside. So you can see that he's still got both of these production facilities, yet to transition the Yoroshiros into them, despite being 34 minutes into the game. So maybe a little bit of an oversight here by Demu. Definitely could have looked to potentially replace them out, phase them out, as you normally do. We'll check in with Louis, though, and see how he's doing over on that east side of the map. Farm numbers looking good. Keeps starting to come online as well. He's feeling very confident in his position. If you see these keeps coming down like that, it very much says I'm looking to just be safe right now. We'll check in on that backside. Farms have well and truly come up. He's up to 56 farms. Meanwhile, on the side of Demu, we see 48 farms. Economy, let's compare the pair. 2,900 versus 2,300. Demu with a slight disadvantage at the moment, despite having that extra bonus. You can see the enriched farmland plus 60%. He does have these 3 deep, and I think on 3 deep, you want to be adding in a farmhouse every so often, because these guys have got a lot of distance to run, and that's definitely going to be reducing your bottom line. So, very, very cautious about those. Let's check in with Louis, though. He spots out this forge coming up to the south. Battering ram on the way through. Spears, together with a couple of archers. Gonna look to try and contest it. Couple units a bit distracted, but the absolutely beautiful Order of the Dragon units on the front line with their gold and blue sheen get taken out. Onimusha trying to work their magic here. You can see how hard they're focusing down these units. How many have we got? We've got, I don't even see them. There they are, 11 Ozutsu. The Ozutsu are starting to build up. And this really becomes quite problematic. As long as they stay alive and you've got something to help defend them. So you see what's happening here, right? With the horsemen coming through, this is what you want to be doing. So he's taken them out. You can't let them build up. If you let them build up, it's going to be way too problematic. They take very favorable trades because you've got that ability to kite with them. We've got a decent bit of speed on them, 1.0, you know, faster than most siege. And now Louis MT looking to completely wall him in on that north side as well. He is completely walling him in. Another keep going to be coming up, Louis MT. Demu also going to be looking to throw down a keep on the defense here. Beginning to move forward. Louis going to have to rush this one up if he wants to complete it. Demu going to throw another one down. It's going to be a castle. But I think this one will get up for Louis MT. Demu going to try and race it, though. Let's see if we can get to the races. He cancels. He says, no, sorry, Bob. That ain't happening. Not today. Town Center gets moved to the front as well, just in case any bombards come searching for him. The Ozutsu are on standby, and keep in mind, they can absolutely one-shot a keep if you so choose to. Stone wall coming up. Those are enemy walls that we are seeing right here. These are the enemy walls. He's walling him out. Or rather, he's walling him in. Louis MT really stepping up the wall game. Look at the walls that we're witnessing right now. This is a huge amount of walls. Louis, incredible defensive player. You know we got to get a picture of this one. Hold on, give me a sec. What's the button? I don't even know. I don't even think I've got it bound. I don't think I've got it bound on the keyboard. I can't even take it. All right. I wanted to take a... Just pretend you hear the Windows sound. You know the Windows screenshot sound? Oh no, is it the Steam screenshot sound? That yeah, it's the Steam screenshot sound. That's about the best I can do. Don't hire me to do sound effects. not at all the best when it comes to that. That's not my strength. Actually, I take it back. You want to hear a lightsaber? Still terrible. Still terrible. What sound effects are decent or easy to make? We'll have to think about it later, because at the moment, have a look at this. Ozutsu on the back and a tee off. He's got the boiling oil. It's going to hurt for a little bit here. He's going to try and commit this siege, and he knows that the army's in the north side, so naturally, Demu comes straight down to the south. He's looking to try and focus down the Ozutsu. Not going to be having it today, Chief. 14 Ozutsu. Now coming out, the Japanese rise. We are witnessing the rise of the Japanese Empire. Demu with 78 military population. Up against the 70 from Louis. He's got to try and look for kiting with these Ozutsu. You don't want to be fighting head-on with the Ozutsu. You want to kite away if possible. And he's got a beautiful little defensive spot. More cav coming from the north side. He's going to be able to intercept it all. And Demu looking absolutely stellar in this game. Louis MT in trouble now. Have a look at how quickly this has swung. Where are all the military units? He's got the exact same amount of military pop, but I've got no idea where all of those military units are. Meanwhile, that vil count for Demu has not moved. Louis has just been sending raid after raid. What are these villagers doing? There's villagers in the base right now of Demu, and they're not Demu's villagers. That's typically something you don't like to see inside your own base. The enemy's villagers. Unless it's like 100 vills and they've just given up. Unless it's Donati, in which case it's 100 vills and they're burning down your last landmark. More and more Ozutsu join the forces. 14 of them out at the moment. Horsemen try and make their way to the back. Should be able to pick off one here. He's going to try and look to get through, but unfortunately, not able to find it. Still looks to fall back. I don't know why he's falling back right now. I guess he's just too close to the reinforcements. He knows he's going to lose too much otherwise. Probably wanted to sack everything but the Ozutsu here. Could have made some sense. He's going to try and build some distance. Archers on the backside. Meanwhile, you can see exactly what the play was here from Louis MT. He is really just looking to be quite annoying inside the base of the Japanese. That keep going to get pushed once again. Demu with only 200 gold on that unfortunate little gold mine. Where does he go after this? Because the reality is, you're walled out on the trade post in the south. You're walled out on the trade post in the north. How do you generate gold? I mean, you've got these forges, right? The forges, there's 2 of them that have got Yoroshiros. The other 2 Yoroshiros are stuck inside these Raxes. So he's not really able to do much with it. Now, keep in mind, he also does get additional Yoroshiros, which he could have placed in forges. There's another forge here. You do get those additional Yoroshiros once you hit Imperial Age, but he's just lost plenty more vills. We've got a sad state of affairs right now. Horseman behind the scenes. 40 minutes into the game right now. Demo with about half the number of vills of his opponent. It was looking pretty good for a second there. For a hot minute, it was looking scary for Louis MT. But now he's taken complete control of this map, walling out his opponent. And Demo trying to find a way to break through. Is the Ozutsu the answer? Or perhaps it lies in something a little bit more... I was going to say bombastic, but I don't know what that word actually means. I know it's a word, but I don't know what it means, and I don't know if that would make sense in this context. But I'm going to say it. Perhaps he needs something a little bit more bombastic. All right, there you go. That was it. It cost 4 tickets now for those bad boys. Why has it been so long since we've seen the Japanese? I guess they're just not meta at the moment. You know why? Because they don't have a good crossbow. That's why. They got a terrible crossbow. Well, I shouldn't say it's a terrible crossbow. It's not a terrible crossbow. It's just not good against other crossbows. It is... I mean, I shouldn't say it's not good against other crossbows. I don't know. I don't know. Why isn't the Japanese more popular? I feel like it's something to do with the crossbows, though. Ain't nobody out here trying to make a whole bunch of Onimusha, right? Like, what are we talking? It's expensive, man. It's 50% more gold. Your enemy paid 400 gold for their 10 crossbows. You paid 600 gold for yours. It's not cheap. All right, well, decent little push now coming through from Demo on the defense. Military numbers still quite even here. Horseman numbers are decent as well. Look at the stats on these bad boys. 20 melee attack together with the 13 range bonus. Looks like with the incendiary arrows, he's doing decent damage to the university. Slowly working it down. More reinforcements rally in. Louis MT really starting to build up the number of resources in the bank here. Louis going to continue kiting away. Hand cannoneer numbers are rising. Is up to 8 hand cannoneers. Plenty of units in the queue as well. A whole bunch of gilded knights. Have a look at that. I don't even think he's got the elite upgrade. No, he doesn't. He's only just getting it through now with the gilded charge. And now, beautiful control coming out from Demu. Once again, these horseman numbers are always so fierce from him. And it looks like Louis not going to be able to make it back to the wall in time. Louis struggling to keep these hand cannoneers alive. Demu trying to get a decent surround. He is going to run through, and that's going to be it. Demu with a nice little advantage. How is he managing to fight an enemy with double the economy? Or at least, yeah, you know what? I'm going to say it. Double the economy. Like, realistically, it's 70 versus 130, and these are Order of the Dragon Vills. That's the other thing to remember. These are just not your ordinary bears. These are serious business makers. Serious builders. Serious farmers. They gather faster. Move faster. Healthier. Harder. Better. Faster. Stronger. And somehow, the reinforcements for Louis MT just miraculously come out of nowhere. Couple Gilded Knights on the front side. You can see he's got 575 health on them. A little bit of biology helping out with that. Louis MT actually holds the sacred sites as well. It is being contested. In fact, it's going to be neutralized right now. 335. Gilded Knight numbers starting to rise for Louis. Let's check in with that production and see how he's doing. Numbers are looking very, very decent. Very good. Traders now begun. How many traders are we talking here, Louis? I thought that was 50 for a second. I got very excited. It's only 10. But hey, 10's better than 9. We'll say that much. And the other thing is, I mean, he can trade. Right? Some people in this game can't trade because there's a big stone wall blocking them from accessing trade. So what are those players to do in this situation? I mean, for Demu, I can't help but feel like it's all but over at this stage of the game. We're 43 minutes into this, and it just feels like, you know, in chess when it's not checkmate, but you can see it coming, and like you very clearly know that it's coming, and it's like, well, I'm in 6 moves, it's checkmate, and there's no way for me to get out of it. It's one of those positions where it's like, how do you possibly do it? Do you go into mass spears and then just like hope that you're a Zutsu mass? Oh, sorry, I'm just bonking my microphone right there. Do you just go mass spears and just hope that your Ozutsu mass doesn't die? maybe that's one of the ways to play it. You could look to rely on the Taganashima Gunsmith, because if you look at the amount of resources he's got coming through, it's not pretty. It's not pretty right now. 240 gold a minute, and it is quite literally all coming through from these 4 Yoroshiros that he's got. 2 of them. He could be up 50% on that income, but he's not. The numbers... Okay, hold on. There is a world... Hear me out. 200 max pop for Louis. 150 for Demu. If Demu's still making vills from the town center, right? But he's got like, his economy's rolling. If he doesn't take any fights and he builds up a huge army, he could potentially hit a critical mass, also known as a crit mass. And with the way that... Oh, there's a way through! Oh, you wasted it. Oh, you wasted it. This could have been massive. I mean, this is still big, right? He gets through, but now the stone wall's going to come down and now there's no way through. But it's one of those things where it's like, hey, this works well for both players, because now Louis knows that there was a hole, and Demu says, well, hey, at least I'm through now. I'm going to go interrupt that trade. 61 gold coming through on those traders. Not terrible. I think for Demu, there's actually a way to win this. And it's not that the enemy has it. I was going to say something bad. I'm not going to say it. It's not that the enemy goes to the toilet and stops playing. It's that look. It's that the trick here is that he needs to keep reinforcing. Like, you have to go mass spears so your Ozutsu don't die. Because he's on 12 Ozutsu at the moment. How many tickets has he got? He's got 4 tickets. I'd be honestly investing in a bombard. I'd just get 1 bombard out just to start clearing this out, right? Slowly but steadily clear that out, and then that'll work. I mean, you got the Ozutsu, so I guess you're realistically kind of fine in that regard. And maybe it's just better to go into like 4 or 5 Ozutsu instead. 4 Ozutsu instead. 103, 104. So Demu's doing the right thing. You don't want to be fighting right now. The best thing that Demu can do is actually wait to hit max pop and fight with max pop. And once he's got max pop, see, this is the problem. With the Ozutsu, you're just going to be able to steamroll over the opponent's base. So it's very, very key that he fights with mass pop all together down the middle against the enemy, takes a convincing fight, and then just straight away just goes straight onto the base and intercepts the production, doesn't let the enemy rebuild the army. That's the way that he wins this. He actually has found a win condition. I've got mad respect for this, because, you know, we were thinking about tapping out because we thought the writing was on the wall. We thought that the king was about to fall. But look at this. He's closing in on it. We're at 120. Oh, he's actually done it. This is it. This is it. I see the vision. 47 minutes into the game, I see the vision. Let's check in over on Louis MT's side, see how he's doing. How many farms you at, Louis? 56 farms, not a bad amount. He does have sacred sites in play. 7 minutes to go, so that's plenty of time to work with here. You can kill your enemy in 7 minutes. I can tell you that right now. You do not need more than 7 minutes to finish this game from the side of Demu. The big question for me is going to be about how Louis looks to deal with this Ozutsu mass, because he's up to 19 Ozutsu now. Look at the size of this army. He's broken out of these walls. He got locked in, and he said, I'm coming for you. I'm coming out of these walls. He's breaking out. It's 2025, and it's time. Speaking of 2025, what game number are we up to? I don't even know. Still plenty of units in the base. He's got to be careful. You want to avoid this happening. You don't want this kind of fight to be... You need to be getting on the enemy backline right away with those horsemen. Exactly what he does. Chases straight up to that backline. Cannon in placement now going to come through on that keep. No relic inside, though. A little bit painful there. Lots of units still. 117. He's down 20 pop. Losing a couple down on the front side. We're going to see that Yoroshiro fall as well. Inside the forge, he loses out a little bit of gold a minute. He's only got 240, but it'll do. Now we see those Ozutsu are going to be coming through. We'll be able to dish out some very decent damage here to the keep and look to take it down. More reinforcements going to be rallying in for Demu on this north side. Looking to try and pick up the reinforcements of his enemy. He's double the military pop of his enemy right now. Lots of production getting added in for Louis. He knows he's in trouble. He knows the enemy has got a huge army, and he's got a huge bank of resources. Look at that. Louis MT right now. A massive amount of resources. So the most important thing here for Demu is making sure you're always fighting at 100% capacity. That is the key here. He has to always take fights at 100% capacity. Otherwise, he's going to get whittled down. And you can see that's what's happening to him, to his army. Look at this, 97, 98. He's really starting to lose a little bit of momentum here because the resource count is falling. Now, to be fair, he's got units in his base, and this is always going to be difficult to deal with on multiple fronts. But now the Ozutsu start teeing off. Springwood in placement going to be helping out a little bit here. Instead of firing on that outpost, he's going to just look to try and defend for the moment against those archers. And now moving back through, you can see, look how much these archers have just destroyed out this army for Demu. And it all just comes down to the lack of horsemen. And I think that's just it, right? When you look at the facts, there's just too much production. I don't know how he's going to get over it. Let's do a quick check. 10 Raxes, 8 Rangers, 7 Staples. So he's producing 25 units every what? 30 seconds, 40 seconds, somewhere in that region. It's very, very quick. If we take a look here, 14 seconds for a spearman? For an elite gilded spearman, 14 seconds. Why is it so quick? How long is it for... How long is it on this side? I mean, you can't really use this one. Apparently, it's 15 seconds for this Rax. Well, I mean, it's 5, but it's got the Yorishiro inside. It's 150%. Okay, so it's not. It's like 14 as well. Why is it so quick, man? That's really, really quick. Ozutsu could look to try and take the high ground here. Numbers continue to build up for Demu, but he's at 150 pop now. And now it's starting to feel very painful. Louis MT has done a wonderful job of just working down these numbers. The Gilded Archer's going to tee off at the back, and he's got a whole bunch of units in queue, rallied out towards this position. 10 Lance Connector, just sitting in queue, waiting to come out. And now continuing to kite back, it's going to be that lovely combo Horseman Archer together. Working down his opponent's army, and he knows the longer this goes on, the better it gets for him, because he's got a bank of 20,000 plus resources, whereas Demu can't even crack 150 at the moment. He is struggling to keep it up. Now Horseman on the back line. Once again, do make a decent connection here. We see both players diving with their horsemen, but only one of them's got spears. I take it back, both of them have got spears now. Lance Connector do join the fray. Trader's going to be coming up here looking to get a little bit more gold in the bag. Tithe Barnes is through, so we've got that slow trickle of stone. That'll help out with additional keeps or repairs. And now the Ozutsu just keep going, keep banging away here. All the traders are going to get found out. Louis MT could be in a bit of trouble as he loses traders, but I guess keep in mind he does have all those resources stacked away. He can really, yeah, like what he's doing right now is 100% the play. Men-at-Arms, very low gold cost, and everything else just trash. Just go your triple trash unit with Men-at-Arms. Actually, he's got hand cannoneers coming out, and I mean, he's got elite gilded Lance Connector. That's a lot of gold, that's for sure. We haven't seen any siege of this game, by the way. We've got 5 battering rams and Ozutsu, but that's it. No mangoes. I wonder if they both just agreed. They were like, you know what? No mangoes. They decided to get rid of the veggies and the fruits for today. Sacred sites are being held. 3 minutes to go until sacred victory. I don't know how you go about denying these sacred sites now. Numbers looking way too good for Louis. He's got triple the military pop of his enemy. We'll check in with Demo and see how he's doing, what the plan is. I can't help but feel that second town center getting taken out really did a dirty on him. He would have been in such a great position if it wasn't for that. Look at the numbers here. In the end, Demu is able to take out quite a bit more economic units. But you can't help but feel that the damage has been done. Now Louis going to be looking to put some pressure on towards the front of the base. Avoiding the walls and instead coming out from behind them. Saying it's time to put the pressure on. Plenty. Look at the amount of units he's got in queue. He's got like 70 units that are in queue right now. Ready to come through. If you can take out this wave, fine. What about the next one? Or the one after that? Or the one after that? They're just not going to stop. They're just not going to stop. Look at the amount of units he's got. We're going to start seeing that production trickle across the map as these units go down. Louis now sends some forces into the backside. 2 minutes until sacred defeat. No real hope in these going down as a keep gets put down on that second sacred site in the south. More archers continue to move forward here. For Louis MT and Demu, it was a valiant fight, my friend. An incredible effort. But in the end, I don't see how you pull your head out from this one. It is a sad state of affairs for the Japanese right now. Remember, if the Taganashima gunsmith falls, the Japanese fall. Military pop down to 19, and that is it, ladies and gentlemen. The game is over. Go and check out both of these two players. I'll leave links in the description of where you can watch them live. And hey, don't forget to check out EGC TV. It's happening tonight and tomorrow night. Go check them out, 15 GMT. Links in the description. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.